A couple of things I want to say. So, I've got to share first.
I'll do my sharing while you're doing that.
Yeah, we're live now, and I've got to go. I've got to open the privacy up because this privacy is still locking me out. So, yeah, I've just done that. I've shared to 35. So, just waiting now for people to come on. And how have you been today, Dave?
I've got to share first. I'll do my sharing while you're doing that.
Yeah, I've got to. Have you been good?
Sorry about that.
It's all right. Have you been behaving?
You know me, mate.
Evening, Stephen. Evening, Lucy. Everybody who's coming on, please share this out. All right? We've got 8 people on now. And look, share this out. And I'll tell you why. Because we've got an inspirational individual coming on tonight on the show. And he said he'd come on. We tried it the other night and the social media went down, so we couldn't do it. The gentleman we got on tonight, Blue, Red, Blue, Scots Guard, Henry the Hero, he's wrote a book during COVID. That's inspirational in itself because he done it during COVID. Yeah, Paul Boggie, all right. I've looked at his mission, and his mission is, is to abolish homelessness in Scotland. I agree it's a bold claim, however, I believe it's achievable. This is what he said. And the book he's wrote, he's allocated all the profits to go to the homeless in Scotland. All right. And he won't rest there. He wants to start, and then he wants to build off that. And that is absolutely an inspiration. And the journey of this individual, David spoke to me about it. And I've gone out and looked at some of the interviews Paul's done. Look, I've just got to talk to him in the green room. Absolute individual who is, look, I have got the spiritualist church tonight. I'm committed to this tonight because I want to talk to this guy and I want to get to know him because I'm going to bring him on now. All right. And he's going to tell us his story. Me and Dave are going to sit back and we'll prod him every now and again. But I want people to share the book more than anything. Share the link to the book. I'm going to put it up, all right, before we even start, because I want people. It's on Amazon. Yeah, I'm going to get it out there as well. I'm going to purchase quite a few, and I'm going to give them away with the coffee or the drinking chocolate. So look, let's not wait any longer. Let's bring the man on himself. Dave, this is a cracking one. This is, mate. I'm proud of you. Thank you very much. So here we're going to go. We're going to bring Paul on, all right? And please, share. I don't give a shit if you share it 3 times. I don't give a shit if you share it 10 times. Get it out there. We need to get this man out there, all right? I know he's out there already, but let's get the book out there. Let's try and help him along. Paul, how are you, son?
Hello, Clive. Thanks for having me on, mate.
I tell you what. Hey, mate. No. It's thanks for you coming on. It's I tell you, mate. I've got goosebumps on my back of my neck, going up the back of my neck at the moment because you're an inspiration, mate. And thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for sharing your story more than anything, because we need people to share. Everybody's got a story, and you've come out and said, this is mine. And yeah, Dave, what do you think?
Oh yeah, I think it's what he's doing is outstanding. Yeah, I mean, I haven't known Paul very long. I think how long, Paul? Couple of months?
A couple of months, mate. Yeah.
We've not actually met in the skin, so to speak. But obviously these sort of things are fantastic. And I met Paul because he was funny enough. He was on Tim's. Tim, was it Tim?
Trevor
Colt. Yeah.
He was in Trevor Colt's. Trevor Colt was asking for sleeping bags for somebody.
Yeah.
And anybody who could help get some sleeping bags, like for little or no money. You know what I mean? And anyway, that's how it came about.
So
that's what he does. It's part of your game, isn't it, Paul?
The big thing I want to ask, Paul, is
Digger Gardner sorted that out. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I knew Digger knew, and blah blah blah.
So
And that's how you
Dave,
love people.
and that's how he works. But
Of course it is.
Paul, introduce yourself. But for those of you who don't know you, give us a quick introduction. And more than anything, I want to know the reason when during COVID you're probably bored, your mind was running 100 miles an hour, and you wrote a book. And I tell you what, I'm purchasing the book tonight, and I'm going to do a few things tonight, and I'm going to throw a few things out there. So please introduce yourself, buddy.
So hello everyone, my name is Paul Boggie. I'm the proud author of Heroin to Hero. In a nutshell, I grew up in Edinburgh. I was unfortunate to become a heroin addict at the age of 18. It stole 7 years of my life. At the age of 25, I managed to turn my life around. I flipped my addiction from heroin to fitness. I became extremely fit. The age to join the army had changed from 27 to 32.
Yes.
And I'm 29, almost 30, and I see a bit in the paper about join the army, be the best, and I'm thinking, at the time I thought I was too old. Walking past the recruitment office in Edinburgh, I walked in, spoke to the pipe major of the Scots Guards. He took one look at me, asked me my age, said I'm almost 30, sir. He says, are you fit? I said, yeah, I box in, I lift the weights, I run every day. He's went, I'll get you Scots Guards. And that was it. That was as brief as the interview was. Then I passed out. You know, I was served in Scots Guards from 2010 to 2015. I was down 9 months down in London doing all my ceremonials. Then I was in a serious car crash where I almost died. I broke my back and I crushed my spine. And I suppose at that moment in time, I still believed that I was going to get sent to Afghan with all my friends. I started my pre-deployment training to go on my very first tour. My army friend had crashed the car, and I'm left lying in a field somewhere near Newcastle, just past Otterburn, with these injuries. So back then I was still in the mindset that I can still achieve anything in life that I want. So I believed that I was still going to get sent on my tour with all my friends. Realistically, it was never going to happen. I tried to pull the wool over the medic's eyes, but my crushed spine was never going to play ball. So what happened was I got medically discharged in 2015, sent back home to Edinburgh with a prescription of codeine and tramadol, and various other drugs. These drugs are highly addictive. I've got an addictive personality. The army obviously knew about my heroin past, and they did say to me, look, Paul, we know about your drug past. Unfortunately, for the injuries that you've got, you're going to be on drugs for the rest of your life. The sooner you accept that, the better things will be for you. And it was unfortunate, guys, because I believed them. I'm back in Edinburgh. I'm wallowing in self-pity. I never crashed the car. There's nothing to do with me. They've walked away scot-free. I've got a broken back and a crushed spine. My friends are still serving in the Scots Guards. They're getting promoted round about me, and it was meant to be me getting promoted. I was the fittest of everyone. I was the oldest. And it was all, and then, you know, social media, I can see them getting promoted. So I'm sitting in house, wallowing in self-pity, swallowing tramadol and codeine like they're going out of fashion. Justifying it to myself because, unlike my heroin addiction, I now have these physical problems where I'm in a lot of physical pain, so I can justify it to myself in my own mind to take all these tablets every day. I became addicted. Depression set back in. It wasn't as severe as it was back in the heroin days, but it was there. And I just sort of given up. I think I had a breakdown just before lockdown, actually.
Right.
And I think that, you know, lockdown the way it was, it actually worked out perfect for me, because I've had this plan to write this book.
Yeah.
And it was discussed in basic training with all the officers and the sergeant majors and sergeants, and they're like, "Oh, Paul, you should write a book," because they used to ask me about my heroin days in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And like, "Oh man, you should write a book." And I was like, you know what? I actually am. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Afghanistan, and when I come home, I'm going to title it "Heroin to Hero." Oh, great, Boggie, that's a great title. So that was where the title came from, and because of what happened, I didn't feel very much like a hero at all, because, you know, I know it wasn't my fault, but just the way my mind was, and I was just like, I nearly burnt the book twice. I was like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning of lockdown, I dug it out.
Brilliant.
I sat up for 3 days and 3 nights, and I wrote this damn book. And when I'm writing the book, it's strange, because I know I've not really spoke about how I stopped taking heroin tonight. So it's all about the mind. It's a choice.
Yeah.
Everything that I do in life, all the bad decisions I've made in life have been choices. All the good decisions have been choices. What I realised 17 years ago when I was a heroin addict was that if it's a choice, then I can choose not to be a heroin addict.
Yeah.
And I've done that. So when I'm sitting writing this book, and I'm writing about how I broke my heroin addiction, I'm re-educating myself.
Brilliant.
At that moment in time, at the beginning of lockdown, and I got goosebumps again. There was a massive light bulb that went off in my head, and it was like, you can choose not to be a heroin addict. You can choose not to be on tramadols and codeines and stuff for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But I had a crushed spine. I've got a crushed spine, and it gives me a lot of jip. So I didn't want to put the pressure on myself like I did with the heroin, because you know, because of these physical problems. I thought to myself, well, who are these doctors to tell me I'm on tablets? If I've not tried, I need to try and be off the tablets, and then gauge it for myself how much the tablets help. So I tapered off all my tablets just after finishing the book. I come off all my tablets, and I'm 17 months drug free now. Absolutely nothing at all. I still get shit state with my back, of course I do. But you know, I'm not on any drugs, and it's just a crazy thing, because I was angry, because I'm thinking these doctors and these spinal specialists have told me I'm on drugs for the rest of my life, and if they accept it, and you know, so initially, like, I was angry, and then my anger soon turned to excitement. I said to the wife, I never told the wife I was coming off all the tablets. And I said, look, babe, I've stopped my tablets. And she just went, what do you mean? And I said, I've stopped them all. I don't take anything now. And she went, that's crazy. She went, how's your back? So I stood up and I sat down. Stood up, sat down. Stood up, sat down. And I was like, look. She says, and as if it's all right. I says, it's still sore. I says, but it's not any more sore than what it was when I was on the tablets. So, excuse me. So, what I done is, when I was sitting listening to music, I was sitting listening to Tom Walker. I didn't know who he was. It was on Spotify, and a song called "Leave a Light On" came on, and I was sitting listening to that song, and I think I was getting a bit emotional it was a really emotional time writing the book.
No, definitely.
Reliving all that trauma sort of stuff. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to donate all the money for this book to homelessness in Scotland, and I'm going to leave a light on.
Yeah.
And I was I was light bulb. I'm going to leave a light on for all these people, all these homeless people across Scotland, veterans included, all these addicts who are struggling right now that feel like they have nothing and they have no hope, no inspiration, nothing. I'm going to do that, and then so that was where that came out. And that was when I realised I'm not changing the title of the book for anybody.
No.
It was one of those things, Clive, Dave, and Clive. You know, when I'm writing the book, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, what would be another title that you can use? Because Heroin to Hero was supposed to be to do me going to Afghan and bits about Afghan and come, but you never done that. So do you change the title? And then when I realised that, I thought, you know what? Like, I think I deserve to keep the title. As much as it.
Let me tell you. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here because I've sat back and Paul, how much resentment was you living in because you give up? You now can't carry out an army career that you've put your mind to, and you want to go to Afghanistan with your friends, and you seeing them getting promoted. You could have turned back at any time, and you could have turned into that black hole, and you probably dipped into it, and you thought about many things. But how much resentment did you have at that time as well? You know, and this is what people they sink into resentment. And your story is so inspirational because I want to know now. I want to go back in time, and I want to know Paul when he was 18 years of age. What was you like at 18, 17? You know, what was your background and what drove you into that area? What was going on? Have you gone back and looked at that and gone, that's what it was, trigger there, bump, bump. Because what I say is, and David hates me saying this, is a lot of us, I used alcohol, I used hostile environments, I used sex, porn, I used food, I used drink, I used drugs, helping other people to avoid my emotions. And I done a lot to avoid what was going on in you. What I was telling myself, I weren't good enough, I weren't lovable. And it was only 2 years, actually, it was a year and a half ago. I lost somebody 2 years ago today. I went down a dark hole. I thought I was in a good place, and I went back down there. I done ayahuasca. I worked with Tony Robbins and a lot of people, and I went down a big dark hole. And I did try and kill myself because I had resentment, hate, and I didn't know what hate meant until 3-4 weeks ago, until me and David sat down and I cried on a live because I hated myself so bad. I used to self-sabotage anything I had good going for me. I would destroy it. And resentment was one of my biggest things, mate, which really dragged me down. And I'm listening to you and I'm going, oh, you must have had so much resentment there. So much what if as well, you know. Because you just so inspirational listening to what you just said. I want to, you know, what was the trigger before when you got on it, you know?
When you said about resentment there, you know, like after my accident and I went back down to Cataract and I get moved into the stores.
Yeah.
This was sort of the final straw. The straw that broke the camel's back, if you like, was I'm now a tea Jenny, making cups of tea for everyone.
Yeah.
I can't lift boxes because I'm not fit and able.
I've got a good trick for that. I've got a very good trick for when someone asks me to make a cup of tea. Paul,
yeah, but obviously me as a guardsman, you know, and I'm getting tasked with doing this, and then things just weren't working out, and then I got given the task. I'm broken physically, and I'm broken mentally.
Yeah.
I got tasked with sorting all the kit for all my friends, and then I got this amazing job in the stores, which was, right, Boggie, Guardsman Boggie, you're going to sort out all your friends' medals as they're coming back for Afghan. That's going to be your job. I fucking broke my heart.
Yeah.
Get me fucking emotional now.
You know.
But I just felt like quite angry, and just medical discharge. They'd mentioned it, and I was like, no, I'll get through it, and I'll get better, and I'll get stronger, and maybe I can eventually go. And they were like, with your injuries, it's not realistic. So there was a lot of stuff going on in my own mind.
Yeah.
Every day. But because I'm on these tablets were an escape every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm in the stores, I get fell out fucking 4 o'clock. I'm going up to my room, you know, and I've got my tablets there. I'm feeling upset, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling sad, looking for somebody to blame or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
if I swallow 8 tramadols, half an hour later, I didn't give 2 hoots about Afghan. I didn't give 2 hoots about a lot of other things that I have, mental health problems and stuff. I just didn't care. So I suppose that's why I became an addict. Asking your question about going back to when I was 18, I wanted to be part of the gang.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, when heroin hit the area, all my friends started using heroin. I was the last one out of a group of 11 or 12 years. I was the very last one. And I was a boy racer, and I used to let them take it in my car. Now, people often ask me, like, what drove me to take heroin in the first place? You know, and the truth is, I just wanted to fit in.
Yeah, I get that.
And I wouldn't be allowed to socialise with them if I wasn't doing the things that they were doing. And as much as I hated everything about the heroin, I hated the way it smelled, I hated the way they looked after they took it. A couple of weeks I spent not taking it, and then one day I rock up angry. I had an argument with my mum. I rocked up, went and got the heroin, and I took it out of sheer anger.
Was that the moment where you went, "Oh, fuck it"?
Yeah, I just thought, you know, I was still angry, and it was like, it was just an impulse thing. They were offering me it every day anyway, boys. You know, go on, Paul, take it, and I was like, nah, it smells horrible. No thanks. And then I took it that time, and then 7 years taking it, you know, near enough every day, and then it's just that drug. When everybody's got traumatic pasts, everybody. Some
definitely
are more severe than others. And what happens is that becomes irrelevant. It doesn't matter if Dave's had a more severe or traumatic past than me, or than you, Clive, or anybody watching. It's not a contest about to see who's had the most traumatic life. Our trauma as individuals is all that matters, because that's what we live with up here every day. And what I found with heroin was that the hang-ups that I had about myself, all the little things that I didn't like about myself growing up, being at school, being in Cubs, being in Scouts, you know, like when I look back on my life, all the things that I didn't like, being bullied, allowing people to bully me, didn't sit very well throughout my life. And then I got my first job, I got bullied, I never stuck up for myself. I've been a coward at times within the gang. and all these things that I didn't like about myself that I lived with on a daily basis, although I didn't voice it to anybody.
Yeah.
That was my mind. That was my reality in there, that I'm every day beating myself up. And
Yeah.
through taking heroin, I had that realization that it put me in that little bubble, that little cloud, that none of that stuff mattered. And unfortunately, I liked it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, like, not just heroin, but all drugs as human beings.
Well, all mind-altering substances, alcohol, cannabis, it can be anything. Prescription drugs and I keep saying to Dave, when you're avoiding emotions, especially the emotions from childhood and emotions from where you're getting told you're not good enough, you're not going to survive in life, you're not going to achieve anything in life. That's what I was told, and when that plays over in your head all the time, and you're trying to fit in with all your friends, and if you really sat there and looked in, your friends you do fit in with, but they're doing exactly the same because they're avoiding as well. And what I say to people is, it's like the hot bath syndrome. I call it the hot bath syndrome because when you're in a hot bath, you don't get out when it turns cold. You turn the hot water on and you sink down a bit further and you go, oh, yeah. And then problems go away for a little bit longer. But then the next day when you come around and you go, and it comes again, you go, oh, fuck this. I'm going to go again. Because now you've added to a problem because you now, when I was using alcohol, when I wake up in the morning thinking, oh, fuck, who have I upset? What have I done? Oh, fuck, let's go again. You know, and I just kept avoiding, and I played victim in my conscious mind. I was always playing victim, getting angry, getting into conflict, getting concerned. I'm taking action, but it was the wrong action. And then I'd get concerned, but I'd go back to victim again and play again. I just spiraled, pump, 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 you know. And I didn't never go to reconciliation. I never went past. It was like playing a board game every day. And it was like snakes and ladders. I went back to the start again. Woof, I'm going through it again. And today.
Do you know what you're mentioning?
Question, Paul. Let me ask you something. Right? Because I can tell you now, from my own personal point of view, from what we've just done 27 minutes just over.
Yeah.
And it's the stuff that you've talked about in a positive way. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely.
All quite negative.
Yeah.
About all the bad stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'd like to hear now, myself personally, because I'm a little bit more upbeat than a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to know the positive stuff since you've written the book, what you've done, who you've spoken to, who's pushing it, how many we're selling, who's it helping,
and how's your family, and how is your network growing?
How's it changed now? You know what I mean? Now you've got it all down on paper.
Now look at that fucking smile, David. Look at that, David. Look at that fucking smile. Now that's what we got now. So everybody, what you've just heard us go on about for 27 minutes, Dave's fucking bang on.
Yeah.
Look, we've just discussed between me and Paul there about the fucking horrible side. But let's hear about the good side, because I can tell you now.
Listen, it's very important to hear that side.
Yeah. Come on.
But coming out the other end, trust me, is even more important. Because now the fella's got a smile on his face, he's got a lovely family. Trust me, my Lisa, I had 20 well, I had all of it, but for over a decade, she was a raging alcoholic. She's coming up for 5 years, basically clean now. She's doing a very, very good job. And it ruined her acting career. She lost her acting career over it.
Definitely.
So I do know the downside to it. But I also know that when you do what you've done, there's a fantastic positive side to it.
So Paul, come on, give us the fucking where you are today. What's going on? And we already know you're fucking not taking medication. So let's get on with it. We've already know that.
Yeah, so that's obviously that's one of the main reasons that I have got a big smile on my face every day, even though I'm sitting here with the man flu. that makes me proper proud of myself.
Good man.
And
Funny,
proper proud.
Yeah.
Like, I was proud of being a guardsman. I was proud of getting off heroin. I've never been as proud as I am the day that I stopped taking all the drugs. So I used that positive energy that I've got now, and I thought, well, lockdown, I can't go out and meet people.
Yeah.
I've got social media, so I get my Facebook account, I've got an Instagram, a Twitter, a TikTok, a YouTube, and I try and share mostly on Facebook. I do videos on Facebook every day, and what it's allowed me to do is to help addicts every single day.
Yeah.
Also, the money from the book, I've raised about just over £10,000 so far. That's been without any marketing, without a publisher. I've done it all on my own through Facebook. Facebook has given me about 85 to 90% of all book sales, and I've sold just over 1,000. They've
Brilliant.
all come as a result of Facebook, people on Facebook. The money that I've got, I'm using it, and I've been up to Aberdeen. I've sent military sleeping bags to Dundee, Edinburgh, Fife, and Aberdeen. I've got more on the way. I got some from Dave a couple of months back. They also went to Aberdeen and Edinburgh, and that makes me feel really happy that there's some of them are veterans, that these guys are out on the street. That makes me sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it makes me happy. It makes me happy when I come home at night after maybe being out, and I look out the window and I see how cold it is, and I think they're sitting in one of my bouncing bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done your bit. You've done your bit. Well
Brilliant.
done, son. Well done.
Excellent.
It's like-
Excellent.
I've had the crappy civilian bags when I've been camping in Teen the
Oh, man.
and I've done that in June, July, in the summer, and it's still cold in the crappy sleeping bags.
Yeah.
I've also been in a bouncing bomb in the middle of January when it's been heavily snowing in the middle of Cataract, and I can tell you, obviously you guys know, but you get in that bouncing bomb and it's just like it's heaven, isn't it?
It is heaven. Yeah, definitely.
If you haven't got a little bit of decent kit around you, it's fucking rough out there. You know what I mean?
It is. And
yeah,
look,
and that's what they need. This is what the homeless people of Scotland need. So I thought, well, I'm not going to sit on my hands, wait for lockdown to be finished to do anything. I thought, right, well, sell the book. And then as monies came in, I had to source the military sleeping bags from Wales.
Yeah.
Last year, so they came up to the house, and then I distributed them. Then I got the lot for Dave as well. I've donated £3,000 to the homeless charity in Edinburgh.
Brilliant.
Who helped me with my addiction problems.
Yeah.
And it's just everything that I'm doing now. I've just finished writing this play, guys. Now,
brilliant.
Now, the thing was, right, I wrote the book.
Yeah.
And the book's just something. It was never meant to be. It was never meant to be read. Nobody was ever meant to read parts of it. It was only meant for me to unburden myself in my own thoughts.
Yeah.
So I ended up putting it in the book, and that's fine. Everybody can make it what they want of me, or I don't really care now. And that's important.
Yeah.
I don't care what people think. I don't care what people say. Heroin hero? What? Never went to Afghan. He's not a hero, or look at that, Scots Guard uniform. Oh, he was only in for 5 years, or he's just a smackhead. I don't care now. I genuinely didn't care. And it's like, I'm doing what I'm doing because I love helping people. But I think for the shitty life that I've led early on, to be able to put myself, no anybody else, I've put myself in this position where I can give back and potentially save lives through not just the bouncing bombs, because they're lifesavers in themselves, right? But I'm talking about for mental health problems that people are suffering with during a pandemic where people are getting mental health problems where they never existed before.
Yeah.
And when I talk about the mind, how the positive influence that we can put upon ourselves and all that sort of positivity, and I'm sharing it on Facebook, and it's to a camera phone. Nobody's talking back. It's not face to face, but I'm doing it, and I'm getting hundreds, thousands of messages from people saying, I bought your book, or I've not bought your book yet, Paul, but I've seen your live video last night about mental health, and it made so much sense because I'm like that. When and it's like people just thanking me, and it's like, you're welcome. What these people don't understand, what most people don't understand, is that through everything I'm doing now, helping all these people, I'm helping myself.
You are. Definitely.
You're keeping yourself straight, mate. Listen, anything that anybody does that's positive, get up in the morning, get out of bed, make your bed, go and have a shower, do yourself a bit of breakfast, make a cup of tea, go out, have a walk, even if it's only round the fucking block or down the garden path. Anything you do positive, will lift you up. If you stay in your if you stay in your wanker all fucking day, you will fucking feel absolute fucking shit. I know. I did it for over a year. I never got out of bed for over a year. It was some fucking time ago, but I can remember it like it was yesterday. You know what I mean?
And that's the biggest thing.
Something positive each day, just one thing, and it will lift your mood. Stick the fucking music on. Stick the music on. You know what I mean? Don't watch shit. Don't watch the fucking bollocks on the TV channel.
Remember this saying, Paul? I got taught this saying from Tony Robbins from America. Motion creates emotion. When people feel like shit, get up and start moving about, because you will move your emotions. And it's all about today. Today is about teaching people, speaking up and talking about experiences, because it helps you. It helps everybody else as well. And that's what we need to do today, because the school system we got is absolute shite. It doesn't teach people about positivity, the mind.
Yeah. But the helping yourself, Paul, is a byproduct, isn't it? It's a byproduct of doing something positive. You know what I mean? You don't do this because you want to feel fucking, you want to go, oh yeah, look what I'm doing. You do it because you want to fucking help people. Because you do that and it's a positive step, it fucking makes you feel nice and good and warm inside.
Do you know what the main thing is? Like I'm visiting prisons all across Scotland, speaking to inmates now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But do you know what the biggest? I've got loads of messages for anybody watching this, for anybody watching anything I ever do. Never give up.
Yeah.
Always follow your dreams. Don't judge all addicts as being the same, because we're not.
Listen, I know a geezer, quickly. I know a geezer who takes heroin regular. Yeah, he's nearly 50 now. Yeah, and he still does it today, right? He earns about $5-6 grand a week shoplifting. And I can tell you now, if you met him, he dresses in Armani suits. You wouldn't know. The only time you'd know is if you went round his gaff at night and saw him monged out, as they say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than that, you'd never know.
Get the rest of their messages up, Paul. Come on, keep sharing. Come on.
So the biggest message that I've got for the world is that what I was taught about the mind was nothing to do with addiction. It was not directed at addiction. What I say to addicts every single day is fix your mind, then apply it to your addiction problems. Fix your mind, then apply it to your family relationship problems. Fix your mind, then apply it to your working relationship problems or your job problems. Fix your mind. Once you fix your mind, truly and honestly, you know, there's no point in bullshitting and cutting about telling people that you're fixing your mind when actually you're the only one that's actually going to know. Once you actually do it, the world becomes your oyster, where anything is possible, quite literally.
Yeah.
And, you know, not just to never drink again, never take drugs again. You know, if you're in a job right now that you're not happy and you're only in the job for the money because you don't believe in yourself enough to go and try and get another job or better yourself, once you fix your mind and you understand how the mind works and that we can push ourselves outside these comfort zones that are quite daunting and scary as humans, yeah, there's anxiety and stuff. Once we do it and we realise that it's not actually that scary, you know, and that inspires us to keep going and try new things and different things. Before you know it, you know, you'll look back on your life 6 months ago, a year ago, or 10 years ago, and you think, wow, like I was sort of stuck in a rut that way, and then hopefully people say, well, I watched some of Paul Boggie's videos about the power of the mind. And I've done some videos on social media, on Facebook, all about the mind and the positive influences that we have in life, and also the negative ones, and what to do with the negative ones, and what to embrace the positive ones. And it's like what you were saying earlier, Clive, where you're eating yourself up in your own mind. You're not good enough. You're told by school teachers, by work colleagues, by friends, by family. Sometimes you're not good enough. You're never going to achieve anything, and you begin to start to believe these negative impacts that are coming in your life they become your reality up there, and that's what you think of yourself. So you beat yourself up on a daily basis. Once you realise that doesn't have to be the case, and it genuinely doesn't for anybody, especially for addicts, it can help addicts especially. Because obviously through experience, I know, because it helped me, and I never came close to relapsing once. So I know 17 years ago when I said no to heroin and I stopped like that and went cold turkey, I knew that very first second I was never touching that drug for the rest of my life.
The big thing is you noticed what was going on, then you made a choice. We've all got choices in life, and you made the choice. And I tell you what, and that's what it's all about. We all make choices in life. And a lot of people don't understand, Dave. The subconscious mind is negatively wired for survival.
Have you seen Shane Craig's post from about an hour ago?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm caught up. There's another inspirational.
Well, you know what's gone on with Shane over. Shane's he's addicted to the alcohol. Shane is. He knows it. He's admitted it himself, and he's admitted it on live. So
his other post he put up about meeting somebody.
Now Shane Craig has been in our Three Elements tribe, and me and Clive have took Shane under our wing a bit, and we've slowly, you know, I've given him loads of bollockings at night, and he's phoned me up at silly o'clock sometimes, fucking half cut. And I've said to him, Shane, fucking phone me anytime you like, mate, just not when you're drunk. I've said it to Shane, I say it to women, all sorts of people who phone me up when they're pissed, because I won't have it because of the fucking history that I've got with that fucking bollocks. And anyway, over the last 5-6 months, Shane's completely fucking come into a different realm.
He's done brilliantly.
He went to Scotland to save the children, and Shane did a live and spoke several months ago about him about his child abuse as a youngster by a family member, and he did that on a live, and then he did a little bit more and come out of his shell a bit more, to the point that he went up to Scotland a couple of weeks ago and stood up in front of a fucking total crowd of strangers and told his story on a microphone in the public, if you don't mind. And that's now led to Shane meeting one of his sisters that he's had no contact for 3 decades, 30 years. And that's
Paul.
what happens when you decide what you just said, to take all that fucking bollocks that's in your head, yeah, and that little fucking green monster that I call it, telling you, oh, fucking, it'll be all right, just do this one more time, just have one more go at it. You know what I mean? And that's the green monster. But when you fucking jog that monster on, or whatever it is that's telling you, don't do this, don't make a move. Clive said to me not long ago, I want to go self-employed, Dave. And I said, well, fucking do it then. Do it, mate. I said, it's not the fucking garden party that a lot of people think it is. It's fucking hard graft, yeah? And he's told me several other things. And I've said, do it, Clive. Trust me, when you do it, whatever you do in a positive way, within fucking minutes, you will feel like a weight has lifted off your fucking shoulders like you've never known before. And that's what happens. It happens every time.
The biggest thing is, I teach now construction management about health and safety, but mental health is a big part of it today. And we talk about it. And I open up a line and I say, have any of you got mental health issues? Paul, every one of them go quiet. I might have one who says, yeah. Out of a 12 course. And I say, okay. And at this part, I've got to share my experience with them and get them to open up and talk. And some of the courses I've come on, mate, the guys open up, they're like, absolutely. And then I turn around and we get to mental health disorders, and I say to them, have any of you got mental health disorders? Any of you suffer depression? No, not depression. One of them said, only women suffer depression. And I went, really? He went, yeah. I went, I said, if you turn around and say, how many of you said, I'm really pissed off with work, I've had enough of the missus? And Calvin went, yeah, I've had that. I went, really? He went, yeah. I said, go and see a fucking doctor and tell the doctor what you've just told me, what I've just said. And he went, why? I said, the doctor will give you medication. He will make you a legal drug addict. And he went, what? And I said, you will use mind-altering substances and that will drive you down further. And he went, what? I said, depression. Depression is moods, loss of interest, self-esteem, appetite. And I kept going through, and they were going, what? I said, depression. We all have it. We all have it. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
It doesn't matter what you do in life or what you take in life. If you take medication, it doesn't matter what the medication's for. If you take medication on a monthly basis, eventually the human body will recognise it and put a block on it. Eventually. That's why when you go to the doctors and say, doctor, I'm taking this and it's not working, he'll give you a fucking stronger one. And he'll keep doing that and keep doing that. And that's for one reason only. There's fucking lots of money in it.
It is, yeah. Go on, Paul. Hit us with it, but what was you just going to say?
So where can we get the book from, Paul?
We get now. Go on, Paul.
Yeah, so just a quick one on antidepressants. So I was going to the doctors all the time. And I was heavily depressed, and I became suicidal. So I've got this doctor every few days, and then eventually it's decided, in amongst all the drugs that I'm taking, I'm going to go on these antidepressants. So I go on the antidepressants, and I turn into an absolute zombie.
Yeah.
For months, I must have been about 6 or 8 months, every day. Like a zombie. And eventually I went back to the doctors. I stopped crying all the time in front of the doctor because of these tablets. But because I was like a zombie, I didn't want it. So when I come off my antidepressants, the same problems that I had, the reason why the doctor put me on an antidepressants were still there.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't faced up to anything.
Yeah.
And I'd created a few new problems through being on antidepressants for that amount of months. So, in my opinion, to anybody listening that is contemplating going to the doctor for antidepressants, I know people have said to me in the last year and a half, I take them in the work. For me personally, it's only just prolonging your agony.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll plug the book.
There it is.
So the book's on Amazon.
Amazon.
Amazon. The ebook, the paperback is $12.99. The ebook's $9.99. I don't make a single penny from the book. Everything that I'm doing in life.
Got mine 2 days. Took 2 days to get mine. Got it the day after the 2 days after I ordered it.
I'm trying my hardest, guys, to sort of to raise awareness of the book, not just within Scotland, worldwide. You know, I've got some people up in Scotland helping me. I've got some people down south helping me. I've done podcasts all over the world as well. Excuse me. Everything that I'm doing in life at the moment, all goes back to the book. So the play for Edinburgh Fringe that I've just finished co-writing. When that goes to there, when that goes to Edinburgh Fringe, you know, these filmmakers turn up and say, "Oh, that would make a good feature film." That's a real life train spotting that. You and McGregor never went and stood outside Buckingham Palace. You know, so but what that'll do is when people say the lad has got a book, I want to get the book. Oh, Andy's donating all the money to homelessness. I'm definitely going to buy the book. So everything that I'm doing at the moment, I'm trying to justify not spending thousands of pounds on marketing companies. Not spending. Excuse me.
You want every penny to go directly to helping homeless people. You don't want it going on wages.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. Even, you know, I'm going into the prisons now. The prisons are buying copies for the prison libraries.
Oh, mate, brilliant.
So we're getting a bit of our fucking tax money back then.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, I'm going in and talking to the inmates and saying, look, guys, you've got addiction problems right now. And I'm talking about the mind. And I'm saying, what you have to realise is that I'm telling you it's a choice. And I'm telling you because I've been on drugs. And I'm telling you that it's true. Take my word for it. Change your life. Because you can do it. And it's like, so everything that I'm doing.
Hang on a minute. While we're on the prison subject, because I've done a fucking couple of stretches, who brings all the fucking drugs into prisons?
Yeah.
The fucking screws. The fucking cunting screws bring them in.
Yeah, and obviously there's more drugs in the prisons than there is on the streets. Arguably.
Mate, there's more fucking drugs on the drug-free wing than there is on the fucking ordinary wing. Because the screws get fucking double the money for it.
And it's crazy, but like I'm happy to go all across all these prisons, and help people. And the side bonus of that is they're buying copies of the book for the prison library. So when they're buying copies of my book, that's helping homeless people. When people are going to the theatre to watch Heroin to Hero the play, and they realise that there's a book that goes with it, they're going to want to buy the book. When I'm making a documentary at the moment, I'm filming a documentary, and the guys are obviously following my life a little bit at the moment. And when that documentary comes out, and there'll be a bit in the documentary of me, my mum and dad, maybe, or me sitting with the book, talking about the book, guess what will happen?
Of course it will.
There'll be people all across the world that'll be like, oh, he's talking about a book on the telly, it's on Amazon. They're going to pick up their smartphone, they're going to go on Amazon, they're going to put in Heroin to Hero, and the likelihood is that they're going to buy it. And when they buy it, it's going to help the homeless people up in Scotland. So
it'll buy a sleeping bag, it'll buy some boxes, it'll buy a foil bag, it'll help people.
And it's amazing. It's amazing because that's a dream. And you've got to follow your dream.
The trouble is, so many of these big charities have turned themselves into fucking profitable fucking businesses. It's a fucking joke. And it's about time the Monopolist Commission and those fucking ombudsman wanker fucking pricks got off their backsides and did their fucking jobs. and looked into these fucking charities.
Well,
the fellow we was talking about earlier, whose fucking thing I was on, he's got rid of his website now. He's giving it to another fella, and Trevor.
Yeah.
He's fucking right. I mean, his figures are fucking way off. He said that there was 3 charities sat on nearly 500 million, 500 million. It ain't fucking. The RBL alone is sat on nearly fucking 500 million without Help for Heroes and the other fucking wankers. And the NSPCC, all these big, huge, the top 10 charities should be fucking shut down or told you're losing your charity status because you're fucking profitable companies. You're paying people obscene amounts of money at director level and management level, and your management structure is fucking way more than what you need because it's now turned into a job for your fucking pals, and the money's not going to where it fucking should be. And anybody who buys a fucking poppy on the 11th for the 11th of November, do yourselves a favour, save that fucking pound and send it to fucking Paul Boggie because it'll fucking go to some use.
It'll go somewhere fucking decent. And I'll tell you something now. Dave, can you imagine what Paul would be able to do with one of them respites that the fucking RBL closed down?
Yeah. Well, that's what fucking Digger's doing now. Listen, Digger, up until I started doing a little bit of work with Digger was spending all his fucking pension money on helping fucking veterans and setting up the stuff that he does. Even to fix his motor. It wasn't until I said to him, listen, mate, you have to get all the little charities together and work together, just the small charities. And don't link up, keep yourself separate, but help each other. You give one this, you give somebody this, and they'll give you that, and just work it all around.
Play together.
It's not fucking rocket science. And as soon as you start wanting to be fucking big egos, and I'm a fucking director of this CIC, and I've got this, and I've got fuck off, please. Give me a fucking race.
You mentioned a couple of the charities there, like Help for Heroes, right? I've got a Help for Heroes tattoo, unfortunately.
Fucking help your fucking self, it should be called.
I'll tell you why I say unfortunately. When I left the army, I went and done a course for Help for Heroes to help in underprivileged youngsters.
Yeah.
I loved it. For a few months, I done this course.
Yeah.
Then I had a whole drama with payment. It was fine. I got sorted out. Do you know, at the beginning of lockdown when I wrote this book,
go on.
I thought, do you know what? I'm a veteran. Yeah, I never went to Afghan. So I'm still a veteran though. I wonder if I reached out. So I reached out to Help for Heroes.
Yeah.
And I said, look, because I seen online on their Facebook the sort of what do you call it? The size of the platform.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I've got some contacts at Help for Heroes. So I've contacted them. I said, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I done a course with you after I left the Scots Guards. I've wrote a book and I'm trying to help the homeless people in Scotland. It's titled Heroin to Hero. I was just wondering if you would be able to help me promote it because I don't have marketing company and I don't have a publisher. I've reached out to all the big charities. I'm not going to say their names. You know their names.
We know the names.
You know their names. Right?
Yeah, RBL, Help for Heroes.
RBL, fucking Safa, you name it.
Yeah,
you name it, right? Poppy Scotland, right? The whole lot. So I've said to them, look guys, I didn't make a penny for the book. I didn't want to make money. I says, but you've got platforms that could help me. How do you feel, how do you feel about helping me doing a little bit of promotion with the book? Sorry, Paul. Conflict of interest.
Yeah, because listen, I'll tell you where if you'd have said we'll go halves, mate, they would have fucking you'd be sat here fucking with one arm, mate. Trust me.
And do you know
that's all it's about. If there's not a corner in it for them, whatever they're doing, they're not interested. Have you seen the motors these wankers drive on this charity money? It shouldn't be a fucking loud. It shouldn't be allowed.
No, and do you know when I obviously I'm looking for sleeping bags. That's how I first came across you, Dave. So I'm reaching out for these sleeping bags, and it's for me. Right, wait a minute. So I've served in the army. I know what happens when the guys are getting de-kitted.
All the
They're handing in their
goes to fucking skip.
handing in the bouncing bombs and it goes in the skips. I've contacted some regiments. Again, I'm not going to say any names, right? I said, look, I says, I'm out in the streets trying to help homeless people. I says, bouncing bomb. These military sleeping bags are worth 10 of these civilian. Can I get them? Do you know what? You know what I was told, right? This will blow your mind, right? Paul, you have to understand that if we give you military sleeping bags and you go out into Edinburgh or anywhere in Scotland and a homeless person is found dead, hypothermia, in a military sleeping bag, it will look really bad for us. So unfortunately, we can't give you them.
Listen,
I tell you what, mate.
I'll tell you something now, shall I? Listen, there's a fucking national company. Listen to this one. It's been going on for fucking years. It fucking makes my fucking elbow itch. There's a national company that delivers fucking disabled equipment to people's houses. Yeah, they work on behalf of the NHS. All your beds, you know, your electric beds and all that sort of stuff. All your different aids. This company fucking, they sent it, but they bill the NHS for this gear, right? When someone finishes that stuff and they go and get it, it goes in fucking skips, right? A pal of mine earns £270,000 a year getting that gear out of skips when they fucking shut at night, and he flogs it all on eBay with him and 4 other people, right? If you go in there and ask them to get it, they won't let you have it because they want it dumped so they can send some more fucking new gear to the next people. Yeah. They won't recycle fuck all, mate. And the taxpayer pays that. And when I say he's making £270,000 a year, that's fucking peanuts money.
Peanuts.
There is millions upon fucking millions of pounds worth of that stuff dumped weekly. Fucking weekly.
But Dave, let's go back. Paul, I'm going to say in 2016 I was in an homeless hostel. We reached out to my own regiment, and mate, they got the biggest charity in the British Army, 4 million. They paid for my passport, and they said, "Can we get Clive retraining because he's not gonna in safety. He's not getting anywhere. He's self-destructing. He needs help." And I've just done my own training qualifications, and they wanted me to do my training qualifications. Mate, let me tell you, no, they said no. And then all of a sudden, the day I was homeless, I phoned up one of the secretaries for my own charity for the regiment. Said, "Yeah, phone Safa. We've got somebody in Safa. We can't help you direct, but we got somebody in Safa who can help you." And I phoned Safa up, mate. And I said, "I'm homeless. I've got nowhere to go. I'm on my arse. I've got less than 20 quid on me. I won't turn to anybody in the family because I cut them all off." Safa put the phone down on me, mate. RBL put the phone down on me. Soldiers off the streets put the phone down. Even didn't answer my emails, and I emailed them quite often. My mother connected. The only charity there for me was a charity called Veterans Aid in London, and they picked me up straight away, and they put me in an hostel, and I then got to see firsthand how people are selected, how people are treated, and the charities self-select. If you've got a story that they can sell and make money off, and I went to RBL, to the Poppy, it was 2017, one of the homeless guys in Navy, he said, "Clive, I've got tickets, let's go to the Albert Hall and watch the parade." And I went to that parade, man. I walked out there and I was disgusted. Because the amount of money they spent, the amount of money they made, and there was people going into that veterans hostel who were reaching out and didn't have no chance, mate. Didn't have no assistance, no help. And I just thought, fucking, what? Hang on. And then when I learned that, and then I started looking at charities, and I started being vocal. I started writing threads and started writing what they called blogs. Yeah. And I started writing blogs on my experience. And when I started talking out, I got pulled into the office and I got told, "Stop speaking your mind, you're bringing the organisation into disrepute, and we're getting talked about, and people are starting to actually ask questions about you. And that was it, mate. Since I've started protesting, I've got people walking away from me, mate. I've got people who, mate, if I stand up and talk, people hate it. And I say to them now, don't fucking judge me, please.
Yeah.
If you're judging me, you've got a problem, not me.
I got a message a week and a half ago on Facebook. Yeah, it come through on my phone. Yeah, a private message. There's a homeless veteran. Yeah, in Worthing. Worthing collects £50,000 a year for fucking the RBL in poppy sales. I know it does. They get 50 grand a year. They get out of Worthing. Yeah, out of the residents. There's a geezer a week and a half ago, artillery, sat in the fucking pissing fucking rain outside the council offices at fucking midnight. I've had to fucking go from here and go and fucking get the fella.
I know you're on about.
Fucking tea, right?
I know you're on about it.
Phone the fucking RBL, right? They'd have said no, bye.
Yeah.
He'd have been fucking piss wet through and fucking cold for fucking 5 days before that any of them turned up.
Veterans Aid.
We've got filling on fucking pictures.
David, listen to this one. Veterans Aid gets phone calls from other charities saying, we got this homeless guy, can you look after him?
Yeah.
They're taking money in. They're taking loads of money in. They don't give it to Veterans Aid. Veterans Aid is self-funded.
They shouldn't be allowed to. They should. Listen, it ain't fucking rocket science, right? These big charities, yeah, of course they need running money. Every single person, whatever they're doing, even Paul, you need running money. Everybody does. We all do, right? What you don't need is fucking 10 years worth in the bank, earning you fucking God knows much. You shouldn't be allowed to be fucking investing in the fucking stock market. That's for fucking sure. Yeah, you fucking shouldn't. How this charity commission works is fucking beyond me. Beyond the fucking beyonds, mate. They're bad. They're complicit, if nothing else.
So, Paul, what you have to know, but we want to get them books soaked. We want to get everybody get this shared out. If you look, do me a favour. Buy somebody a book you know who's actually and gift one.
Yeah, Christmas is coming.
What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna buy 10 books. All right, I'm only gonna buy 10 books on Amazon, but I want something else. Paul, once I make the purchase on Amazon, it comes from Amazon, yeah?
Yeah.
Do me a favour, send me your bank account details. I want 10 signed copies because I want to give away drinking chocolate as well, Dave. We're drinking chocolate. Apologies for everybody. Drinking chocolate. We had a delay because of the petrol shortage. Yeah. We've only got 500 kgs coming in. It's tomorrow. I've been told it's delivered. So tomorrow, look, I will give away 500 grams of coffee with a book as well. And that's what we'll do. But Dave, let's look at the way that we can tie it in. And we don't want to just give books out to anybody. We don't want to just give books away and coffee away. And we want a good reason. Yeah. We want a fucking good reason why you, all right, or why you are entitled to sign the book.
When we go off of air, which is any minute now, I hope. When we go off of air, I'll have a word with Paul because the old fucking business fucking calculator's working now. I'll have a word with Paul and we'll put a package together for everyone. For coffee, drinking chocolate and a book. That's what we'll do. It won't be fucking free, so don't fucking start any of that.
Lucy.
We'll put something together as a package.
We'll put something together. Let's talk. Paul, the coffee we do, we've got Falklands Veterans Coffee, all right? And we give £5 per kilogram we sell to the actual charity. So let's come up with something. Let's do something. Let's get some more money in your bank, but let's get these homeless people looked after. Look, fucking, I tell you, I've loved tonight. Thank you very much because you're such an inspiration of a guy.
So when everybody comes off here, you need to log on to Amazon, put in Heroin to Hero, and fucking order a copy.
And order a copy. All right, and we'll come up with it. We'll come up with something. We'll get Paul. We'll get something done with Paul. 3 Elements will do something with Paul now. Penguin Books, right? We've got Lee Childs.
I'll tell you what we could do. Clive.
I'm going to make a phone call tomorrow.
Listen,
I'm going to speak to somebody in Penwick
I'll
Books.
tell you what we'll
All
do.
right.
We'll get some fucking heroin for heroes, coffee and chocolate going. How about that?
Yeah, definitely. But Paul, let's have a talk and let's get that done. All right. And anything we sell, then comes, we'll give you a certain amount of profit on it, and we'll just hand it over to you and you take it. All right, because I think that's the best way to go.
You distribute it as you do.
I tell you what,
that you're safe.
fucking yeah.
And yeah, thank you very much indeed for coming on.
Thank you very much. And I tell you,
fucking well done, mate. Fucking well done, mate.
Definitely.
Let's get this fucking snowball pushed, eh?
Pushed. Let's start pushing the snowball. All right, so we're going to talk about that in the next 24, 48 hours. Let's get something sorted there. I'm going to speak to Terry tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a look at the blend, see what blend we can push on it. All right. And then we'll talk about the design. We may put just the book cover on it. Let's come up with a design. All right. But Paul, look, any last words? Paul, we give last words anyway, but any last words from yourself, mate, to everybody who's watching?
No, just thank you, because I know when I say thank you, say no thanks to me, but genuinely, thanks to you guys, because there's going to be people that are going to watch this that before tonight had no idea who I was, that are potentially going to go and buy a copy of my book. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. But no problem. I'm going to buy copies and give them away. Let me tell you.
I'm going to speak to Chris, and I'm going to see if I can get it on his show.
Yeah, Chris. I'm trying to speak to Alexander to see if I can get Alex to get you on. Alex has got connections in his world, so I'm going to speak to Alex, and I'm going to connect him with you, Paul. I'm going to see if Alex can do anything with yourself. All right, because and then let's see what we can do. All right, definitely.
Get a few celebrities on board.
Yeah, and let's see what we can do. So everybody, thank you very much for tonight. Share this out.
It's been a long one. It's been a long one.
We love you.
I love you all. And those who don't love me, I still love you. Even the fucking haters. And the wankers who keep getting